friend. I would like to share with you about how I believe in Jesus. Um, Let me tell you a little bit about my background. My parents are traditional, Buddhist and Taoism. And when I was young, my sister had been possessed by ghost. So I knew that there was a spiritual world around, but I was not sure whether it is who is the real God. And in my primary six or secondary school, one of the summer vacation, I lived in North Point at the time, and I went to a public library. I looked for the religion section. I borrowed books about different religions like Christianity, Catholic, Muslims, Buddhism, and I researched myself. Which one do I want to believe? So eventually, I decided to choose Catholic or Christian. I don't know why I didn't choose my parents' belief. And one day, I walked past Kings Road, which is near where I lived. I saw a sign saying, "You must believe in God, so your whole family will be saved." And I didn't know the people from that church. I just went up and I asked for the pastor. I want to ask him some questions. So when the pastor came out, I asked him questions like, "Is it really there's a God? If there is, why some people they were born to be handicapped? Why there are so many unfair situations in the world? Why there are people in poverty?" And things like that. Of course, the pastor answered me very, clearly, and I agree, and I decided to believe in Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, my parents, they objected, and I was not allowed to go to church. And then when I was in secondary school, I remember there was one occasion, the speaker from the sermon, he asked, "Who want to have a new life? You can raise your hand and commit your life to Christ." I wanted to have a new life, so I decided to raise my hand. But I mean, as I said, my family objected, so I didn't go to church or anything. And the time just continued to pass until 2001. That year, I was studying in London. And exactly 21 years ago, 10th of April 2001, that day after school, I went back to my own student accommodation. I didn't know why. I pointed at sky and I shouted to God. I said, "God, I believe you for so many years. My life is still the same. You said people have a new life when believing you, but I'm the same. What? No different. Where are you?" Okay. I didn't expect anything. I just, just voiced out. And then I was shocked because, in London, it was cold, all the windows closed and the curtains down. And suddenly the windows opened and the curtains, the wind blowing. I was like, whoa, is there a ghost? And then I heard a voice spoke to me, and he called my name, and he asked me to be obey and loyal. He asked me to be loyal and obey to him. And I was wondering, was it God? But I never have this kind of experience before. So I wanted to ask this voice, "Are you God?" But I couldn't speak out. And so I was scared because I remember in Bible, there was someone called Paul or Saul, and he used to kill Christians. So one day, God came to him and called his name and said, "Why do you persecute me?" And then he was blind for a few days. So I was thinking, was it I was like unrespectful to God? I want to ask him, "Are you God?" And I wouldn't be able to speak. So I couldn't speak out, so I spoke in my heart. I asked God. I said, "Are you God? Did you call me? If so, please give me some evidence so I know. I was thinking about my own, evidence in mind, like, would there be a cross come out? Would there be blood or something like that? But I mean, God always do things that is not what we expected. So I didn't see a cross or blood. I only heard him call me 2 times again, saying, he called my name and he asked me to be loyal and obey to him. And then become quiet. The curtains down, the window closed again. So I was wondering, was it true? I never have this experience before. I was like half, 50% believe. Maybe God spoke to me, 50%, okay? And then next day, the 11th of April, I had a lunch appointment with a girl from university. She was much younger than me. How did I know her? Because one day in the school canteen, she came to talk to me because she was studying medicine. She wanted to be a doctor. And she shared with me that she wanted to go to Southeast Asian countries to be doctor, missionary, to help the people. And I was thinking like, wow, she didn't think about making money as a doctor, but go to serve the poor in Southeastern countries. And because I look Asian, so she came to talk to me and want to understand about the culture, things like that. So being so, outgoing and busy at the moment, the lunch appointment was made 2 weeks later, which is 11th of April. I didn't know her really, but when we sit down, I can feel that she has really close relationship with God. So to my surprise, I seldom ask somebody much younger than me for advice, but I did to her. I asked her, I said, you are so close to God. I had this experience yesterday. I heard a voice, I suppose this is God, call me to be loyal and obey to him 2 times. But I'm not sure. What do you think? Do you think it's really God called me? Okay, she answered me. At that time, I thought she didn't answer me, but actually it was the best answer. She said, I don't know. It's better you ask God yourself. Okay. But then she shared with me about, because she is studying medicine doctor, sometimes she has to go to hospitals, and she shared with me that she heard people before they die, they see a cross or light or Jesus called them, things like that. So after I spoke with her, I thought, oh, some people really have this kind of experience, so that could be also real to me. It's just I never tried, I never experienced before. And then after the conversation with her, or after the lunch with her, I kind of changed from 50% belief to 65% belief, but still not fully believe, And then so you can see how tough is my heart. So next day, the 12th of April, 2001, I was walking by myself in the Chinatown in London. My friend called me from Hong Kong. My good friend, when I first believed in Jesus, many years ago, I did try to tell my friend about Jesus, but my friend said, don't talk to me about this anymore. I would never go to, I would just go to hell, I would, heaven is not for me, things like that. So because I don't want to destroy the friendship, so I dare not say anymore. So, but that day when my friend called, I really want to share about these things. And then I was worried, okay, my friend is not even a believer or Christian. If I tell my friend, I heard a voice spoke to me, people will think I'm insane, So I was not sure. But then there was a really strong, I would say, touch from Holy Spirit. If I don't tell my friend this, I may lose an opportunity to mention about God. So I thought, okay, I was living in London, you were living in Hong Kong, doesn't matter. If you think I'm insane, okay, just let it be, doesn't matter. So I shared this experience, and my friend asked me a question. The first question he said was, are you drunk? Okay. I'm not surprised you asked this, so I thought, okay, we talk about other things. And the second question asked me was, did you watch the Hong Kong television program? I mean, I was thinking like, oh, you must be trying to divert the conversation. I mean, I was pretty westernized at the time. I changed a lot these years. If I watch, I would only watch Western, the English speaking program. So I said no, I didn't. And then my friend said, watch a program. I don't know how to translate to English, but 因語之聲, which is a program about some testimony of people believing in God. Okay, and my friend said, your story is very similar to what I watched yesterday. Okay, so I said, okay, tell me the story. The story was about a woman who has a son and supposed to be like mentally distorted. So one day the mother went to the kitchen and pointed to the sky and shouted at God like I did and said, I believe you, God, for so many years, and you give me this kind of son. I don't believe you anymore. But when she came out of the kitchen, her son can do all the difficult homework himself. So the mother was amazed and asked him, who teach you or who taught you this? And the son writes 3 words, 3 letters on the paper, G-O-D, God. So the mother went to the kitchen again and asked God, God, are you showing me that you will? If you really exist, I'm going out to ask my son another difficult question. If he can answer me, I will believe in you again. So she went out from the kitchen, and of course her son could answer. That's why they have this program. So after the conversation with my friend, I was thinking, number one, this lady wouldn't make up a story. I mean, no need, right? No need to make up a story about her son. And number two, she's not making money out of it. It's just a program to tell people about Jesus. So it must be true. So I thought, oh, if some people have this kind of experience, perhaps really God spoke to me. It's just I never experienced it before. But so I kind of changed from 65% belief to 80% belief, but still not 100%. My heart was too tough. So next day, 13th of April 2001, it was a Friday. I mean, normally I wouldn't remember, but that was really a special day for me, so I remember. And it was the Good Friday. You know what? Being such an outgoing and prayerful person, I planned things ahead. Originally, I supposed to meet friend number A from Hong Kong to go to France, and friend number B come to join me and to go to Switzerland and things like that. But I didn't know why at the time. All the things got cancelled, postponed. This friend can't come and this trip was cancelled and everything. I was stuck by myself in London. So I was bored. And then I remember, Good Friday. They must have something on in church, right? Not good. I was not thinking to memorize Jesus. I was thinking about a function, a meeting in church. So I went by myself and I sit down and I was really praying to God. And I said, God, I think you spoke to me 3 days ago and asked me to be loyal and obey. But in my impression, those obey and loyal people are those I saw in church with pastors. They're like really gentle, really humble. And I told God, I'm not that kind of people. I'm outgoing, outspoken, and things like that. I'm not. I can't be obey and loyal. I mean, I can be loyal, but obey is not easy for me. And I said to God, plus, I only 80% believe you spoke to me. If you want me to be loyal and obey to you, you must make me 100% believe. Okay? So, this time, no curtain change, no window open, and the sermon. After the sermon, I 100% believe God called me to be loyal and obey. I couldn't remember the name of the speaker, the pastor, but I remember the content of it, which normally if you ask me what was spoken 2 weeks ago from the sermon, I may not remember, but this one is like amazing, 21 years ago. The story was when Jesus raised from death, he showed to his disciples. One of his disciples, Thomas, said, I don't believe unless I touch Jesus' hand and nail, So one day, according to the Bible, it says one day Jesus came to Thomas and he said, Thomas, come to touch my hand. And then he said, do not doubt, but believe. For those who never seen me but believe are blessed. So I thought, I heard Scott spoke to me 2 times. And then a Christian friend, a Christian lady, told me about the experience in hospital. And then a non-Christian friend told me about the story of the mother. And then the sermon, it's not possible to be coincidence. It must be arranged by God. The chance of coincidence is like really low. So at that time, I told God, I said, I believe you called me 3 days ago to be loyal and obey to you. Okay, I don't exactly understand what does it mean, but I will go to church, I will read Bible, and I will pray. That's what I promised God. And of course, being such an outgoing person, I still go out a lot. I remember one time I went to Russia. Oh, it's Sunday, I have to go to church. But I couldn't find even an English-speaking church there at that time. So I went to Russian one. And I didn't know what they're talking about, but I just be myself. I pray to God and I worship in my own language, English or Chinese. And another time, I was in Switzerland visiting a friend. I didn't know how big the country is. My friend lived in a village. And it's Sunday, I have to go to church. And my friend said, no, the church is 2 hours drive. And you just go for 1 hour and 2 hour drive back. It's not possible, 5 hours. I begged him. I said, please, it's my promise to God. I have to keep my promise. So eventually we went. And I'm glad I always keep my promise. But to be honest with you, that happened 21 years ago. During these 20 years, I still have many problems and troubles and difficulties. And I was not doing as good as I wish. But I thank God that in recent 1-2 years, I started to change and I decided to follow God try to do better. Thank you for listening. God bless you. Bye-bye.